Go ahead, bro.
What's going on, y'all? I know me and sis been trying to put this together for a while so I could pop up on y'all. I had a lot going on, but I wanted to speak on our connections and how we talk to the youth. For me, it's like nothing else matters at this point. They the only things we need to focus on, because if we get a hold of them and we really get to push them in the right direction, then they're going to take us everywhere we need to go. I always tell motherfuckers, when it came to me,
this is a call
I look at myself right now.
Phoenix State Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
I look at myself right now and I always think, I ain't trying to say what I would be, but I know the potential of what I could have been had certain things been laid on me from the jump without a whole bunch of fake shit being sprinkled in there, and everybody just kept it a beam with me all the way across the board. So I feel as though that's our direction. That's the way we need to go when we talking to the youth. I want to start off by reading something from Dr. Bell Hooks. I study a lot of what she say when it comes to the youth, and she says, the parent-child bond which teaches us that we are lovable. The parent-child bond which teaches us how to love. We cannot be whole human beings. Indeed, we may find it hard to be whole human beings without the sustenance of this first attachment. Right now, the main thing that I want to talk about is how we communicate. How we step to the plate and stop trying to teach them in the ways that others want us to teach them. Stop trying to reach them in the ways that others want us to reach them. We got to talk to them direct. We got to talk to them like we were them, like we still are them. We just leveled up. We just matured. But it's nothing wrong with who they are. The loyalty that's in them, the integrity that's in them, the strength that's in them. All that shit come from where they come from. It's nothing wrong with where they come from, and it's nothing wrong with who they are. It's nothing wrong with the things that they believe. We can't keep trying to change what they believe in the ways that they believe. We just have to change.
This is a
We
call
just have to help them understand what it is
Phoenix
that they
State
believe.
Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and
We
monitoring.
just have to help them understand that what they are, the core principles and the values that they have, that shit got another level to it. But who they are right now, that shit's good. That shit's pure. That shit's exactly what's supposed to be there, because that shit comes from where we come from. It's like sometimes when we speak and we address certain things, and I'm going to get to this because something that I wrote in regards to the definition of real. And everybody can have their own definition. This is just my definition, and it can be disputed, and we could talk about it, and I would love to have this conversation with them, with youngins and everybody else about this conversation. But sometimes we take our words and we like, well, this word comes from the hood. And because this word comes from the hood, it's something wrong with this word. It's something wrong with the way that they see this word. Nah. We give everything that's in existence, we give culture to it. That's what we do. So if it come out of the hood, ain't nothing wrong with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, instead of fighting with a child that come from where I come from about the definition of what real is and why real is important and why they shouldn't be real and all that, I ain't going to fight with them about it. My thing is this. I'm going to explain to them what I feel real is and how I see it. And how if they stick to this and how if they see things from this perspective, it's okay to be real. I wrote, though defined by majority as genuine, non-artificial, and non-imaginary, in the hoods that give birth to us, the nuances of real are comprised of elements bound together by a noose of complexity such as integrity, loyalty, reliability, trustworthiness, and being of uncompromising principles, all of which can fluctuate based on an individual's susceptibility to the most human of all flaws, self-preservation. Within the environments that we were raised, sometimes nothing superseded real. You can say she a real bitch, he a real bull, or that's some real shit. And that can become the apex of approval regarding a person's words, actions, or their character. Being staying real can mean the difference between surviving some of the most messiest moments in your life, being offered some of the most best opportunities in your life, and can also be the difference between being buried underneath a life sentence or freedom. One can ask themselves, how can a word so anchored to ambiguity be an unshakable foundation of validity? I myself accepted individuals into my circle based off of the stamp of approval, only to watch them flip into state witnesses and turn people they once called family into felons. But no matter how painful walking down this life sentence of letters can be, that pain doesn't negate the beauty within the concept of what we say love, what we say real means. It just speaks to the fluidity and the elusiveness of the ideal of what real is at its core, and why this title shouldn't be spoken or given away so lightly. We give what's in existence its culture. The shit we believe in and we create in our hoods isn't flawed. We just have to resist allowing fake shit to water it down. Yeah. We have people out there that's shooting and killing people for things that don't matter. And we need to stop that. And people might look at me and say, well, when you was out there, you was doing this. Yeah, I was wrong. But it's not wrong to say, I'm going to go to whatever extent I need to go to protect those that I love. They do it. The cops do it. Everybody else do it. So that part of the child, that part of the people, the kids from our hood that feel that way, yeah, that's real. They supposed to feel that way. It's just they have to level up and understand what it means to feel that way, and what it means to be, say, well, I can protect what I love, and I can go to whatever extent to protect what I love. Being real also means being a good father, being a good mother, being a good Muslim, graduating, building businesses, standing firm upon your principles under the most challenging of life sacrifices, standing firm upon your principles under the most challenging of life's character tests is the structural foundation of what real is built on. So every day when you look into the mirror, don't just try to reach the bar of being real. Try to exceed that shit by being the best version of yourself possible. And when they reach that bar, when they go past that bar, they try to exceed that. And they look at that as being the definition of being real. You don't have to strip away that. You don't have to fight against that. You can accept who they are and say, you want to be real? Then it's how we going to do it. This is what you need to focus on. This is how you need to achieve it. So when bullshit come their way, they can negate that bullshit, and they can step around that bullshit by saying, yeah, that ain't real. That ain't what I'm about. I'm about standing on this. I'm about being about this. I'm about being about that. That's what real is. So, right now, I want us to get to a point where we start having these real conversations with them. We stop trying to separate where we came from or who we are. I'm a parent now. You can still be a parent, and they can look at you as their parent, but not look at you as their mentor, or not look at you as somebody that they can have a genuine conversation with because you're talking about fake shit. They can look at it, they can see it, they can feel it. I can't have a conversation with my daughter, a conversation with my son, or a conversation with my nieces and my nephews or anything like that, and I'm sitting there talking to them and they saying, well, we know who Ruck was. But why you trying to act like you don't know nothing about this life? Soon as I go into that lane and I try to act like I don't know about that, or I can't understand their plight or understand what they're going through, as soon as I'm starting to talk about hypotheticals, they're like, why is we talking about hypotheticals when you really lived it? Why is you presenting hypotheticals to them when you really understand it? Talk to them about real shit. Talk to them about the actual friend that you lost. Take them to the grave site of the actual best friend that you lost. For the women out there, and we talking about our daughters and our nieces and things like that, have your friend come over and have her talk while y'all sit there and shed tears and talk about the sexual assaults that y'all went through under those circumstances, because y'all put yourselves in situations where y'all thought y'all can trust motherfuckers that y'all was around and this shit ain't come up right. But don't keep acting like it's like some foreign shit that happened to other people. We gotta have the real conversation. having that, then basically they walking around us. They don't want to talk to us. They don't want to. It's nothing there. It's fake. And they gonna say, if you want to talk to me, we want to sit down and really figure this shit out. Then everything has to be real. It has to be laid out all the way across the board. So, I hope I said something that can at least touch how we communicate with those on the front lines and the youngins from the hood that we come from. And there's just any youngins out there that's listening to this. Maybe it might take for you to be like, hey, mom, hey, pop, right now, I just don't feel like you talking no real shit to me. And they just might have to respect it that way. But I know what y'all looking for, because I was looking for it. So, we going to give it to you. Every chance I got, every chance I get, if you reach out to me on my IG or whatever the case may be.
You have 1 minute left.
And you want to have a conversation and ask me about something, then let's do it. Let's open up the dialogue, because somebody got to talk, and I'm going to talk. Because I know what it feel like. Lost my mom at 13, lost my dad when I was 9, got sentenced to life in prison when I was 18. Lost a lot of good people in the process. So we could talk some real shit, man, and I'm with y'all, and I love y'all. No matter how this go, I ain't never going to turn my back on y'all.